4, Week 3, Quarter 1. Note details by asking or answering questions about a story or poem listened to. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to note details by asking or answering questions about a story or poem listened to. This lesson highlights the identification of significant details in a text. This involves the process of noting essential information that texts provide. This process allows you to notice the events, characters, and other information highlighted by authors or writers. You are expected to demonstrate an understanding of the text elements, to comprehend various text types, and note significant details portrayed in the selections or passages. Read and examine the selection below. This story is entitled Achoo by Cynthia Sherwood. We all sneeze sometimes. Sneezing is a reflex that your body does automatically. That means you cannot make yourself sneeze or stop one once it has started. When you sneeze, your body is trying to get rid of bad things in your nose, such as bacteria. You have extra germs when you have a cold, so you sneeze a lot more. You might also sneeze when you smell pepper inside your nose. There are hundreds of tiny hairs. These hairs filter the air you breathe. Sometimes, dust and pollen find their way through these hairs and bother your nasal passages. The nerves in the lining of your nose tell your brain that something is invading your body. Your brain, lungs, nose, mouth, and the muscles of your upper body work together to blow away the invaders with a sneeze. When you sneeze, germs from your nose get blown into the air. Using a tissue or sneezing into your sleeve captures most of these germs. It is very important to wash your hands after you sneeze into them, especially during cold and flu season. Do you ever sneeze when you walk into bright sunlight? About 25% of people experience this phenomenon. Scientists believe that the brain gets confused when signals from the optic nerve trigger the sneezing reflex in direct sunlight. This usually runs in families. If someone nearby sneezes, remember to tell them Gesundheit. That is a funny looking word which is pronounced Gesundheit. It is the German word that wishes someone good health after sneezing. Learning Task 1. Note details by answering the questions below. Write your answers in your notebook. Number 1. Which parts of your body work together when you sneeze? Number 2. What does the German word Gesundheit mean? A. I wish you good health. B. I wish you God's blessings. C. I wish you a good day. And D. I wish you would stop sneezing. Number 3. Why do some people sneeze when they walk into bright sunlight? Let's check. So for number 1, which part of your body work together when you sneeze? The answer is your brain, lungs, nose, mouth, and the muscles of your upper body. They work together when you sneeze. Number 2, what does the German word Gesundheit mean? The answer is letter A, I wish you good health. For number 3, why do some people sneeze when they walk into bright sunlight? Answer, scientists believe that the brain gets confused when signals from the optic nerve trigger the sneezing reflex in direct sunlight. Learning task 2. Have you seen an owl? Read the selection and find out details about this wonderful creature. Then, choose the letters of the correct answers. Write your answers in your notebook. My name is Jerry. I am an owl. Have you heard an owl hoot before? I have a big face and large eyes. I have strong legs and sharp claws called talons. I have big wings and soft feathers. I sleep during the day and hunt for food at night. I like to catch rats. I can see and hear things that are very far away. I have very special feathers that allow me to fly without making a sound. Did you know that a baby owl is called an owlet? My home is in a nest in a tree. How about you? Where do you live? Let's answer this. Who is Jerry? A. An owl. B. A robin. C. An eagle. D. A sparrow. The answer for number 1 is letter A. An owl. Number 2. What are his claws called? A. Toes. B. Nails. C. Talons. D. Fingers. The answer is letter C. Talons. Number 3. What does Jerry like to catch? A. Hams and sandwiches. B. Fish and chips. C. Pizza. D. Rats. Number 3. The answer is letter D. Rats. What is a baby owl called? A. A hen. B. An owlet. C. A calf. D. A piglet. The answer for number 4 is letter B. An owlet. What does Jerry do during daytime? A. He sleeps. B. He hoots loudly. C. He hunts for food. And letter D. He cleans his feather. The answer for number 5, letter A. He sleeps. Why are Jerry's feathers special? A. They don't make a sound. B. They are shiny. C. They are soft. D. They are heavy. And the correct answer for number 6 is letter A. They don't make a sound. Learning task 3. This is Jessa. She will share with you why she is proud of her family. Are you also proud of your family? Read the lesson below and answer the questions on the next page. Write your answers in your notebook. Hi, my name is Jessa. I am 10 years old and I live in a small house in Santo Angel. I have a wonderful family whom I love very much. There are 6 members of my family: my grandparents, my parents, I, and my brother. My grandfather is a very wise man who gives us great advice in every situation. My grandmother is a talented cook and a kind woman. My father is a farmer who has fed a lot of people in our barangay. My mother is a vegetable seller. She is always there for us, and I am grateful to her for this. My brother, Tristan, is 6 years old, and we get along very well. This is my family, and I'm proud of them. Let's answer these. Number 1. How old is Jeza? Number 2. How many members are there in her family? Number 3. Where does Jessa live? Number 4. What job does Jessa's father have? And number 5. Is Jessa's mother a teacher? Let us check your answers. Number 1. How old is Jessa? The answer is Jessa is 10 years old. Number 2. How many members are there in her family? There are 6 members in her family. Where does Jessa live? Jessa lives in a small house in Santo Angel. What job does Jessa's father have? Jessa's father is a farmer. Is Jessa's mother a teacher? No. Jessa's mother is a vegetable seller. Let's check your answers. Number 6. How many brothers has Jessa got? Jessa got only one brother. Is Tristan older than Laura? No. Tristan is younger than Jessa. Number 8. Who gives great advice in the family? Jessa's grandfather is a very wise man who gives great advice in every situation. Details are small pieces of information that support the main idea. They tell us something about people, events, things, time, objects, circumstances, situations, and manner. There are 2 types of details: the implicit details and the explicit details. Implicit details are used to describe or define a general state. These are the details that we can't really see. These are details that are implied but not easily expressed. When we say explicit details, they are the specific details that we can see and are measurable. These details are stated clearly. Learning Task 4. Read the selection and note the details by answering the questions. Write your answers in your notebook. Uwang and Salagubang. Uwang, rhinoceros beetle in English, is one of the few beetles called by name in the Philippines. Other beetles are referred to as salagubang, the generic Tagalog word for beetle. Although we can see various pictures of rhinoceros beetle online, nothing can compare to seeing one up close and personal. From experience, I can tell you that if one gets on your clothing, it's really impossible to get it off easily. The variety found in the Philippines is the Asiatic rhinoceros beetle. They may seem formidable and vicious, but appearance can be deceiving. They have sharp claws, and those claws can only hurt you if you get pinched by them. Other than that, they are practically harmless. They also have horns, and there is a difference in length depending on whether it's a male or female. From what I understand, it's the strongest insect in the world. I'm not willing to test the assertion. Let's answer. What are the names of the two types of beetles which are found in the Philippines? The two types of beetles which are found in the Philippines are uwang and salagubang. Number 2. What variety of beetles do those two types come from? The variety found in the Philippines is the Asiatic rhinoceros beetle. How did the author describe the claws of uwang and salagubang? They have sharp claws, and those claws can only hurt you if you get pinched by them. Do you think you will be hurt once you see an uwang or salagubang? I think no, because it is said in the selection that uwang and salagubang are practically harmless. What do you think is the purpose of the selection? The purpose of the selection is to inform the readers about the characteristics of uwang and salagubang. Learning Task 5. What do you usually imagine? Have you ever experienced strange things in your classroom? Find out as you read the story. Then, answer the questions that follow. Write your answers in your notebook. Walking on the Moon. When I was in grade 3, I got to take a trip to the moon. I remember the day like it was yesterday. It was one of the strangest experiences I'd ever had. It all started when Miss Reyes, our grade 3 science teacher, was showing a video about the different planets in the solar system. Halfway through the video, I noticed a sparkling metal disc about the size of a peso coin lying on the floor. I kept trying to pay attention to the video, but found myself bending over to pick up the shiny disc that was next to my desk. As soon as I touched the metal disc, something strange happened. I wasn't in the classroom anymore. I was hovering in the air, way above the school. I could see the whole, or rather the rooftops of the whole city. I was a little nervous, but also pretty excited. What was happening? How could I be floating? It was then when I remembered the metal disc I'd picked up from the floor earlier. Did it have something to do with the strange things that were happening to me right now? I opened my palm and looked closely at the disc. On the disc were these words: floating through the air like a helium filled balloon, your travels will not stop until you reach the moon. The next thing I knew, I was soaring through space, dodging satellites and asteroids. Oddly enough, I wasn't cold and I was able to breathe just fine. Before I knew it, I was standing on the moon. It was amazing. It looked very different from the Earth. No trees, water, nor houses. There wasn't even any wind. For each step I took, I would bounce way up into the air. Every step took left a huge footprint in the dust. I had to be careful and make sure I didn't jump into a crater because I wasn't sure if I'd be able to get out. Sometimes I couldn't even see the bottom. I was bounding over to something in the distance that looked very out of the place. When I got there, I realized it was a flag. On the flag were the words, "To go to the earth, close your eyes, and think of what you've learned. You will find in no time at all. You will be returned." I wasn't sure I wanted to go back just yet, but I knew it might get dark soon, and I didn't want to be on the moon by myself in the dark. I decided to close my eyes and think of the weather and other characteristics of the moon I'd learned that day. Let's answer this. Where is the setting of the story? A. Saturn. B. Outer space. C. A town. D. A science classroom. The answer is letter D. A science classroom. In the sentence, I was hovering in the air, way above the school. What does the word hovering mean? A. Floating. B. Dreaming. C. Walking. D. Jumping. The answer is A. Floating. Why are the words floating through the air like a helium-filled balloon? Your travels will not stop until you reach the moon, written in italics? A. The teacher thinks they are important. B. They are words the student says. C. They are words from the video. D. The words on the disc are important. The correct answer is letter D. In which sentence does the word bound have the same meaning as the sentence I was bounding over to something in the distance? A. The sticks were bound in a bundle. B. The rabbit will bound through the field. C. My book was bound at the printers. D. There is a bound to be a change of plans. The correct answer is letter B. Why does the main character not know if the trip really happened? A. The main character was sitting in a desk when the video ended. B. The metal disc was gone and the main character did not have any proof. C. The main character had difficulty remembering the order of events. D. The solar system video is still being shown. The correct answer is letter A. Which event happened first in the story? A. The main character is hovering above the town. B. The main character reads the word on the disc. C. The main character picks up a sparkling metal disc. D. The main character is sitting at a desk. And the correct answer is letter C. What would be another title for the story? A. The Great Class Field Trip. B. The Living Moon. C. The Magic Metal Disc. D. The Solar System. And the correct answer is letter C. What is the difference between details and noting details? Details are small pieces of information that support the main idea. They can either be implicit and explicit. One of the important skills needed in understanding details is known as noting details. Noting details is a reading comprehension skill that involves speaking out from a piece of text information to achieve a given purpose. Text information may be taken from either informational or factual text and literary text. Learning Task 6. Read and answer the questions. Write your answers in your notebook. Why does ocean have waves? The ocean is never still. Whether observing from the beach or a boat, we expect to see waves in the horizon. Waves are created by energy passing through the water, causing it to move in a circular motion. However, water does not actually travel in waves. Waves transmit energy, not water, across the ocean. And if not obstructed by anything, they have the potential to travel across an entire ocean basin. Waves are most commonly caused by wind. Wind-driven waves or surface waves, created by the friction between wind and surface water. As wind blows across the surface of the ocean or a lake, the continual disturbance creates a wave crest. These types of waves are found globally, across the open ocean and along the coast. More potentially hazardous waves can be caused by severe weather, like a hurricane. The strong winds and pressure from this type of severe storm causes storm surge, a series of long waves that are created far from shore in deep water and intensify as they move closer to land. Other hazardous waves can be caused by underwater disturbances that displace large amounts of water quickly, such as earthquakes, landslides, or volcanic eruptions. These very long waves are called tsunamis. Storm surge and tsunamis are not the type of waves you imagine crashing down on the shore. These waves roll upon the shore like a massive sea level rise and can reach far distances inland. The gravitational pull of the sun and the moon on Earth also causes waves. These waves are tides, or in other words, tidal waves. It is a common misconception that a tidal wave is also a tsunami. The cause of tsunamis are not related to tide information at all, but can occur in any tidal state. Answer the following. Number 1. What creates waves? Number 2. What could be an obstruction to waves? Number 3. Why do you think the wind is the most common cause of wave creation? Number 4. What are some causes of hazardous waves? And the last number, what is another name for a very long wave? What creates waves? Waves are created by energy passing through water, causing it to move in a circular motion. What could be an obstruction to waves? Waves can be obstructed by anything under the ocean such as rocks, coral reefs, and shoal and underwater disturbances. Why do you think the wind is the most common cause of wave creation? Because as the wind blows across the surface of the ocean or a lake, the continual disturbance creates a wave crest. What are some causes of hazardous waves? Hazardous waves can be caused by severe weather, like a hurricane. Other hazardous waves can be caused by underwater disturbances that displace large amounts of water quickly, such as earthquakes, landslides, or volcanic eruptions. What is another name for a very long wave? Another name for a very long waves are called tsunamis. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.